Hi everyone, here's a video going through some presentation tips after the Nacsport update 5 has been released. So often if you're working in a presentation window, you might be building up lots of different lists that you're going to work on and add clips into over time. If like me you use some preset lists, you know the things that you want to add into as you go. But for now I'm actually only focusing on clips lists A, B, C and E for example, because I've added some clips into them and I just want to focus on these. So what we can do now is we can actually collapse the lists that we're not using. So if I hold down the control key, so I keep this held and I now click on the lists that I want to work on. I've still got the control key held down and now I'm going to right click. If I now choose hide all the unselected lists, those lists that I wasn't working on just disappear. So I could work here, I could move clips around, I could delete clips, etc, etc. Now if I right click again and choose expand lists, everything pops up ready for me to see again. So just a useful tool if you want to minimize the amount of lists that you're seeing and working on. Something else that's been added in the new update is the ability to set favorite angles in your presentation. So here I've got a game open that has two angles, and when I add a clip, so let's say I choose a single clip here, because I've got both angles showing, when I press 3 it's added up with both angles. And if I see this text in bold, that means it's a dual angle. If, for example, I look at this next clip and press 4 on my keyboard, which selects angle 1, if I now press 3, only angle 1 has been added, and I can see that that text is no longer in bold. A new thing you'll notice down here is that these clips have a number 2, which is showing us that there's two angles for these clips. This one doesn't because it's a single angle. So whenever I play back a presentation, if I've got multiple angles, I can use the same hotkeys 4 and 5 to switch between the angles when I'm playing it back. But what I could do is preset the angles I want to see. And also where it's really useful is if I want to export this as a movie, I don't have to ungroup a register. So here if I clicked right click and then I did ungroup, I'm going to split that clip out into single angles, which is useful, but what we're going to do now is do a faster way. So if I double click in my clip, I've got a new option up here of favorite angle. So default means that it's going to show with multiple angles. I could say show angle 1 for this one. So that's my favorite angle. Let's go to the next clip. We'll set this as angle 2. My third clip, we'll keep that as multiple. Fourth clip, we'll go back to angle 2. So when I export these, it's only going to export with those angles that I've chosen. So 2 angles, favorite angle is angle 1. 2 angles, favorite angle is angle 2. Okay, and that will also come into play when I play these back. So that's the favorite angles tool. Something we can look at here, you saw how I ungrouped these angles. This is actually really useful. Let's say I wanted to compare two clips. So if I look at this side by side, let's take, let's use angle 1 here and press 3, and let's go to this one, angle 1 and press 3. So two separate clips. In the same way that I ungrouped an angle, right click and ungroup, I can actually group two separate registers as well. So if I hold down the control key, I've got both selected, right click and group videos. This has now become a joint angle. So when I play this back or export, there's two angles side by side, but they're actually for different clips. So here in the Playback Tool, let's go down to this clip here where we had the dual angle, and that's the two different clips, but we're seeing them both next to each other. So here in the playback, the first clip, we'd selected it to be angle 1. If I press 2 to skip, my favorite angle was angle 2, and it's gone to that. I skip forward, it stays on angle 2. This is just a preset that's within the software that whenever you were on a single angle and you skip to a next register that might have multiple angles, it's always going to stay on that single angle view. So if you think, hey, I've got my default set as multiple and it's not changed, that's just a behavior that's deep rooted in the software and it's there for a reason. So hopefully that video gives you some tips to use in the presentation window. We've got collapsing lists, we've got using your favorite angles, and if you hadn't seen it before, the right click option of ungroup angles and then group angles together as well, which again could be two video clips. It could even be a video clip and a picture. So you might import a picture or import a PowerPoint and you could then group a video clip with a picture so they sit side by side. So let's take a look at actually joining up those registers and images. So actually I've just imported a PowerPoint slide here, again from this option, and I'm going to hold a control, select my clip here, and now select this PowerPoint slide. Now if I right click and group those videos, I've got a new clip down here at the bottom. Let's move this to the top. So we see as I play this back, what I've got is my video clip and that image side by side as something that I can look at in my presentation or save out as a clip. Just a useful tip that not a lot of people know. Hopefully that gives you some good tips to use in your presentation windows in Nacsport.